Kate, I just had an experience with the cops here in Oz. No name, no game, but we already knew that. Told you we'd talk soon. So there you go, and I wrote LOL. How about that, eh? So what she carries on with is, just got in from a well-earned smoke after breaking the great news to my parents, and that's a whole other story. I can only imagine. I got pulled over by a random breathalyzer, which I could have easily avoided, by the way. And that's the thing, too. Don't be afraid of these guys, because as soon as you truly understand the power of no name, no game, these guys are completely disarmed. They can wave bazooka in my face. I don't care. I can pull a tank up in front of my car. I don't care. I'll just go around it or get down to move. Because until you consent to be a dead thing, guys, please. You've known this your whole life. There's something more going on here. You've always known this. There is something far bigger than you have been able to see because you've been blinded to it deliberately. And what a blinded part is that you were blinded to the real magic of what's going on here. We are playing an awesome universal game here on the Alamo known as Earth. And we are the front line. And we will not yield. No surrender. No quarter offered, no quarter given. No quarter taken. All in. It's that simple. So I'll carry on here. Yes, this could have definitely easily been avoided. Just play along. But we don't play along anymore. When you understand what I'm talking about, many of you do now, and there's no arrogance in this. It's just simply, I don't play with the dead. You know, I see dead people. They're walking around everywhere. They think they're alive, but they're actually dead. They're dead on a spiritual level, which is far more important than any physical meat stick. Given that people like to pick them up and off them lifetime after lifetime, going through a circular trap here. So here, I'll carry on. I got pulled over by a random breathalyzer, which I could have easily avoided, by the way. Plus, I don't drink. Well, hardly ever. But I told them I couldn't, in all honor, give them a name. We had quite the chat. They were very nice, as was I, but they still tried every trick in the book to get me to own the name. Yeah. Start thinking of the odds, what's on the table here. This is an all or nothing game, guys. And if but one shall awaken, you're starting to get what I mean now. And they'll try every game in the book. They're trained to lie. That's what they're trained to do. It's a fact. If I ever get to my storage unit, I will dig out the training manuals. These guys are trained to lie, to direct you in a line of questioning. That if you keep talking long enough, they will corner you. Or if they can keep me talking all day, they'll never corner me. Not that they want to talk to me anyway. Not that they're going to come anywhere near me. Besides, I think it's pretty expensive to keep retraining goonies that come anywhere near me. Because if there is a soul in any of these entities, go to the They Live for an example of real humans and real not humans working together, but they all look the same, except you got to be able to see through these entities, and they're getting exposed more and more. Unless you haven't seen the picture of the puke of Edinburgh at the where the page boy literally had the soul sucked out of him and he collapsed. That's what happens when you have a group of vampires. So have a look at this guy's face. He looks like something out of Underworld. He actually reminded me of the lead asshole in Underworld. Go and have a look. The guy's walking dead. Anyway. So I'll carry on here. We had quite the chat. They were very nice. Of course they are. Psychopaths, like serial killers, will be the nicest in the world while they slip a knife in your back. But they still tried every trick in the book to get me to own the name. Even got hold of my bag with an old license in it. Vehicle is registered in the name of the certificate of my dad's birth, and they tried to get me through him and my mom. But once you know who you are, these contracts are null and void. You just got to become aware of these spiritual contracts you have. You don't have to worry about writing to anybody. You need to get this. And yes, as soon as you change your mind on it, it is done. Contract is done. Universe, the game. That part, that consciousness that you somehow might have overlooked. I didn't. And many of us have found it, and we're seeing it. Anyway. So I told him I can't claim to own anything since apparently it's all owned by the Crown. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll get into a few more details on that. But yeah, everything that you have, you own. As soon as you give up the legal name. You don't own it while you have a legal name. I'll explain that in greater detail. And there's also another story I want to touch on with regards to bills and how important it is to not recontract. So anyway, the vehicle was still sitting by the side of the road where they had me pull over. It wouldn't start, flat battery, because the lights got left on when they reached in and turned off the ignition. When they finally gave up, I had to walk barefoot to pick up my son from, I guess, baseball, and then back to the truck to see if it would start. Said hi to the cops, and then we both walked home. I was hoping they'd offer to give me a push start, but they didn't. Oh, they won't. No, that's sorry. That's what Trump does. They create all sorts of problems, and then as soon as they get their asses kicked, they have no honor. Sorry, this is pawn scum that she was dealing with. Soul forfeit. Anyway, so I wrote, typical of them. Cause a shit mess and won't clean up. They really made a mess of the nursery here, right? Yeah, they did, and I'm tired of it.